Hey, we're live. This is a test of our Instagram live Devos. So Wyatt and I are here, and we're just testing. So if any of you are watching, you should definitely let us know. I don't know if you have to have your phone turned sideways or not. So if that is not good, and you want us to shoot it more like this, just let us know, and we will listen to your feedback. So, anyway, we're going to be doing our Devos from 1 John. You probably can't see that, but this is 1 John, and starting next Tuesday, a week from today, the 30th of May, we're going to start doing Devo together every week. So you're going to see, sometimes we're going to be here at the church, sometimes we're going to be other places. We may be at the park doing this, we may be in a restaurant doing this. So we're going to be all over the area doing Devos together. So we want you to tune on an Instagram Live. So what we're going to be doing is, as we're reading the Bible together, we're going to be going through 3 different steps. The first step we're going to do when we're reading the Bible is the step of observation. If you're not if you're not signed up yet for our Refuel Labs, you should sign up, because you're going to learn how to study the Bible by going to the Bible Study Lab. So, in 1 John, the first thing we're going to do, starting on Tuesday, is we're going to observe. You can see I've made some observations of things that have stood out to me, like words that repeat or comparisons. So we're going to note those, and we're going to mark them. And then we're going to interpret. So Wyatt's going to tell you what it means to interpret.
Yes.
Get over here, Wyatt, so they can see you.
Whenever you find your observations, you obviously need to find a way, okay, I see this in the scripture. Now, what does this mean? What did God mean whenever he inspired the person to write it? What does this mean today? A good example is, think back to Exodus, whenever God tells Moses that you shouldn't covet your neighbor's donkey. Like, I don't know about you, have you coveted your neighbor's donkey lately?
I covet my neighbor's donkey so hard.
No, Matt's the exception. But you don't know many people that covet a donkey. But the point in interpretation is, you read this truth. The truth was, don't covet your neighbor's donkey. But what is a timeless truth? How can I apply that to my life today? And you look at that and say, okay, at the time he was speaking to Moses and said, tell the Israelites, don't covet your neighbor's donkey. The moral of the story for us today is just don't covet. What do we have that we would covet of other people's today? Whether that's a material possessions or wealth, anything like that. That's a timeless truth. So the interpretation is taking an observation and then looking and saying, what did it mean in the context? So an easy thing to do to be able to get your interpretation is, don't read the Bible without praying. Pray every time before you read the Bible that God will speak to you through it. You've got the YouVersion Bible app that you can change translations that look at different meanings when you get to a difficult text. Or you can go to blueletterbible.com, and on that you can see what the original manuscript said and go off of that for the definition of a word or a hard passage.
After we observe, we're going to interpret. So we're going to find out what is the timeless truth. And the final thing we're going to do is we're going to do what's called apply the verses that we're studying. So would it make sense if I went to the store and I bought a steak, and I marinated it, and I rubbed some good seasonings in it. I put it in the fridge overnight, and I got that steak out. I slung it on the grill and got it to where it was just like, kind of still pink in the middle. It's just the perfect steak. And I was so proud of the fact that I made a steak, and I made a good steak, but I never sat down to eat the steak. That'd be kind of ridiculous, wouldn't it? Well, how ridiculous is it that sometimes we'll get our Bibles, all marked up, and we'll get our Bibles all highlighted, and we'll go through the interpretation, but we never apply it to our lives. That's just like making a big old juicy steak and not eating it. So the final part of our Devos is we're going to actually apply it. We've got a saying at Refuel, and the saying when it comes to applying the Bible, wait, I got to get this out of the way, and we're going to step back. It's a saying, and it's a motion, and here's how the motion goes. Do it! Just do it! So Tuesday at 11 o'clock, right here on Instagram, join us, because we're going to interpret, observe, and apply. So we'll see you on Tuesday. Don't forget to do it! That's all. Have a great day. School's out.